Hey guys, good to see you. I didn't think you'd come back. Thank you. So, first and foremost, this is a bunny build video, so if that's what you came for and that's all you want, here is the farm and range and typically everything you're going to use for group and solo play. Yeah, MP collector, this can be changed with maximized conservation or whatever that is. Let's see, let's pull that up. This guy, it can be exchanged with this. I don't like it because it's removing my skill power modifier and hers aren't extremely high, so that's really going to cut into your damage. So this is that farm range build, whether you're playing solo or with a group, and I'll load into a mission in a second, but screenshot this. Let's look at the stats on it. This gives us 4 times skill critical hit damage at 20% skill hit rate, which, yeah, that could be higher by 5-6%, while lowering your damage by about 8%, so I prefer to risk it for the biscuit, y'all. The second build I use for invasions and bosses is electric condense, and then the cooldowns here, so I can spam this. If you remove nimble fingers, you're gonna add another 10 seconds to this cooldown, so it'll be 30 seconds, which you can do to get more survivability, whatever it is you need, honestly. So this doesn't require a crazy amount of mod swapping. It is what it is. You'll be able to run both of them. It's very tanky. Like, look at this. I have 27,000 defense and 6,000 health. We're using a Supernova processor because I like to get the extra hits in. Yeah. So let me go back to that build so you can screenshot this if you'd like to as well. Okay. Now, let's run a mission and talk about what I'm doing here. So I made this bunny build a long time ago. I just wanted to make some final tweaks to it. And then I saw that there is, Moxie. He's great. He's huge. He makes tons of really good content, but he recently posted his updated bunny build where he had 5 different builds for group and solo, invasion and bosses, and I thought, oh dang, I've got to redo my bunny, He's covering every mod and potential build for each scenario, so it's time I sit down and develop my own bunny even further, even though she's very strong already, so I felt like she should be improved, So before we go over in depth on Moxie's build and if it really is viable or practical being the main thing in this, I want to take you through my thought process on where a bunny should even be, or what we're looking at, or what the goal is, and how you can achieve that early on in game without investing hundreds of game hours, not hundreds, but like 20 to 50 game hours just to get your bunny a little bit stronger. And min-maxing is fun, but it gets to a point. There are plenty of other characters. Forgive my voice, I am getting over COVID still, so yeah. So it didn't take long into my first catalyst reset to really ask myself, like, what am I doing here? Am I really about to dump another 20 or more hours of gameplay into resetting my bunny over and over and over again just so I can have this top triple S streamer tier character? The answer became increasingly clear to me as I did level up and I began really thinking about the current difficulty of the game and where my bunny stood. So I decided to take a deeper look at Moxie's builds, and I realized, there isn't really any reason at all to have a solo and a group mod set at all. And I'm going to run through this mission falling behind first and then catching up, showing that you don't always need to be sprinting. If you are always sprinting, you're at the front of the pack, or you can just play solo. I'm using a solo type build which just has MP collector, which goes against that point that you need a group build. So let's watch that, see how it goes on, and we'll touch on a few different subjects as we run through this mission. So as far as bossing, with Obstructor being the exception, if I go against a boss, I'm not bringing a bunny. There are too many options, and if you build bunny in the way that I have, You can get any ultimate Descendant that's better at bossing and get any materials needed quickly without spending a massive grip of resources and time while still getting the same effect. So let's really get into it. The thing about the group and solo builds for Bunny is like, yeah, right now it's like, oh no, I'm not in the lead. We have a group of people, we have a Bunny that's faster than me, so now I'm not gonna get the magic or MP I need to fully sprint the whole time, which is not true. There was a bunch of MP on the ground below. There's some right there. If somebody is ahead of you or clearing everything out, you don't need to be the best. That's just how it is. It's a group effort. And if you want to run solo, just run solo and run a solo build. But here we are at another stopping point where we don't need a specified group build. You just run through, you're just clearing stuff, you're hanging out, you're having a good time, and it doesn't matter because your Bunny is OP where it's at. You don't need to feel like you need to make these 5 builds just to be viable. See? So we can just boom. Everything's dead. And then it's even better when you get a Luna. Where is this guy? This is the only guy I even care about right now. And then on top of it, we're gonna use a weapon. We're not even sprinting. So now that we've cleared everything, and now I want to be in the front of the group and I want to be the leader of the pack, here we go. I'm at the front, right? And so now it's just up to me to apply a little bit of skill to do so. And now we can just keep using it. Oh. A little bit of skill being key here, and I don't have very much of it. I think I already used it at the beginning, falling in the hole. Yeah, I think I'm funny. So yeah, now I can lead the pack. I'm not worried about MP. This is a tiny room. I don't know why I'm sprinting anyways, but this is how the game works, right? You don't always need to be the star, and if you want to be the star, be attentive. Just start running first. Look, there was some MP back there, and I totally bailed on it because I don't need it. But if I want to be in the lead, then I will have plenty of MP, you know? As I run out. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then use your grapple. That's also a great point. And so if you do get to a point when you run out of MP, let's see how long it takes for it to come back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're close enough. 5 seconds, half MP. I have nothing to boost that, and if you really want it, you can boost it. But see here, we run around, there's some MP that I needed, I guess. Oh, a little bit of skill. But yeah, we're doing fine. There's no need to have a group and a solo build at all, whatsoever. So that made me feel a little bit better, and I realized there's a lot of people in the community that are really struggling, that are still just getting their ultimate bunnies. You don't need to worry about that stuff. So now that we've kind of made my point to the group and solo play and shown you that this farming range build works, we'll just clear out this boss, which also, I'm making a video, but this mission is one of the highest XP yields. Most operations that used to have a defend the position, they are actually very, very fast, and they all yield a high amount of XP, so definitely keep an eye out for that video. I'll be posting it. What I'm doing is comparing the operations, the Biolab, Magister Lab, and this one, and the timing. And the difference between going from level 1 to 40 is really between 2 to 3 minutes of running them. The fact is, though, that this one actually takes less runs to do, so you're getting less loading screens. And just like that, a team effort, we made it to the end. I didn't need some extreme crazy build to do it. Let's see, I half-assed half the time. We still got 5 minutes. I was a leader for a little bit. I was a follower for a little bit. You don't always need to be the #1 star. And if you're playing solo, because you want to be the #1 star, this build is perfect for it. So there's no other builds needed for that. So now what I want to do is actually get into some of the things that Moxie had tested were the differences between like Dangerous Ambush and Multi-Talented and Decimator and Narcissism. So the Dangerous Ambush, that is my overall choice because her range is so incredible that almost always it's guaranteed that you're going to get 25% skill power modifier. No, not modifier, just skill power. That's raw damage. You can't get much that's higher than that. I don't have it on this build right now. I have Frugal Mindset for my running and skill cooldown because I get extra HP, and I like to play like a mindless zombie, I guess. I like to come and relax and destroy things and not worry about it. So usually what I would recommend doing is taking out Frugal Mindset because you're not spending too much MP on this per second. You can replace this with Dangerous Ambush and actually get way more damage out of your build, which is awesome. So if you want to make a change to this, I would recommend swapping one of these on the farm range build out with Dangerous Ambush. It also will work if you are working on a budget or don't want to invest a lot into Bunny for the bosses, because then you get that 50% when they go down. And Bunny is not primarily a bossing character. The idea of Bunny is that you go through and you're going to farm out materials for the Descendants who are bossers, period. So don't worry about anything else from there. We used this reactor, which it's got the range and the electric skill, but if you want to maximize on this damage, again, you're going to want that skill crit hit rate and skill crit hit damage, and she's going to hit like a truck. She already does. We'll go to the lab if you want to see, but if we go to Echo Swamp, we're hitting like 1.2, 1.5 million fairly frequently. I don't think additional crit chance is needed within the mods, so what I did is I focused on the crit hit damage. So that's Dangerous Ambush right there. Multi-talented, I get that he was just trying to be efficient and thorough, but what multi-talented is for people who need to hear this, for the back of the room, all the way back there, multi-talented is for characters who are spamming skills amongst like fusion and tech. If you're switching back and forth. Dimension, I think this mod is primarily used for Dimension characters because that 20% skill cooldown is a lot. So think about with Haley, for example. Her second skill is like a minute long and it's a Dimension skill. So you use that and you're going to get 20% cooldown for 5 seconds. So if you stack cooldown on her, you can get that skill down to like, what, 25 seconds or so? Maybe I'll pull her up. Maybe I'll save that for another video. But it's for characters like that who are using some Dimension and then you are using, you know, fusion right after, because then you get skill cost and duration down. And if you don't believe me, go look at characters who have those kind of kits like fusion and Dimension. So multi-talented, not a Bunny mod. The next one was Decimator. Yeah, it's an option, but so is Divine Punishment. Bunny electrocutes people. She's gonna get the 10% firearm attack. It's an option. It's not very good, but you could use it if you want. That's the argument I heard on Decimator. Don't use it for Bunny. The Narcissism, it's just never an option. And if you needed that explained to you or don't know what the grapple hook is, you should feel bad. Grow from your shame. You're still loved. But yeah, so we covered the group and solo builds that he went over. They make no sense. And then he did a separate boss and invasion build. Like, thank you, Moxie, though. I do appreciate your content. You seem like a chill dude. I'd love to get to know you, but this level of min-maxing is just, you're just shaming new players and making them feel like they're never going to be good or able to play. So what I'm trying to do is provide some light to the new players or people who don't have the time to min-max to that degree, where they have a build that is just switching out 1 or 2 mods, or maybe the exponent or the external component sets are a little different. I use this because it works in all situations and it procs a lot more than you would think, because for every time her third skill triggers that lightning emission, there is a 50% chance to get that lightning to come crashing down, which is equivalent to 100% of your skill power modifier. So it's really cool. So that it makes me want to use this, because when you use that, it's going to hit a little bit harder with your thrill bomb, and that also gives it an additional chance. So what you can do is get like 3 of those thunder hits to happen all at once. You chuck that, you turn on your sprint, and then you use your grapple, and you just see boom, 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 a ton of executor hits. So for the invasion and boss build, I use electric condense. This for a lot of reasons. So when you're in the invasions with the towers, if you're using high voltage, it only shocks the 3, and even after those 3 are destroyed, which I'll get some clips, I'll add them in here. Once those 3 are destroyed, it keeps shooting the same 3 that are missing. And yeah, forget that, that's terrible. So it ends up really cucking your damage, really messing with you, and you're not hitting the enemies around you. So high voltage is horrible in invasions. Don't ever use that. That is something that was very wrong, so I wanted to address that. Maybe I should make that the title of this video. Fixing Moxie's build. Sorry, bud. You just kind of overlooked a few things because you had that really cool shield build at the end, which I love you did. I've been entertaining that thought because of a cool thing. I have a Sharon build that when I use my overcharged shield, overcharged edge, the shield goes away, but it's back in less than a second, and that got me thinking about shields too, so I like that your head is there. I love it. So electric condense, back to the invasions. This is very helpful because when you get the boss's shield down, you trigger this, you start wailing him into them with your Enduring Legacy, which here's my Enduring Legacy build. You just start wailing into him, you get a mag down, and after about 3 to 5 seconds, I think it's 5 seconds, your electric condense is gonna go off and you jump in, and it will do like 1 million at least. And if you crit, you're gonna hit like 4 million, and boom, the match is over. All you have to do is just keep jumping, dodging, giving some damage, and then when your electric condense is ready to go, you just absolutely annihilate them. And it's really a safe bet because you got this 27,000 shield defense. If you keep jumping, you're gonna keep hitting lightning strikes down, as well as your third skill, and then wailing into him with your Enduring Legacy. It's just a fun little combo that you get going there. So I wanted to touch that. And then I also have a clip I'll share with you because, like I said, I don't really boss anyone else except for the Obstructor with Bunny, so I will put a clip of that. Name this invasion slash boss because this is primarily an invasion build at this point. So definitely check it out. Let me know what you think.